Why, hello everybody, it's GleeCon and we're back once more with another episode of our weekly installment of Lore of Final Fantasy as we continue to play through Final Fantasy 1. We're going to finish up the Terra Cave and get the Earth Gem, so we'll have our first gem after today, and then push on to the second one, which I think is Fire. So stay a while and listen. Our characters are level 24. Pretty good. I would say that's indicative about where we're at. Even with all the extra content, we're probably about a quarter of the way through this game. Things will speed up. We've taken a real slow burn in the beginning because we've also been looking through a lot of the cool side content. We're going to look at enemies today, and probably for the next episode, we'll start looking at this final interesting appendix that comes out. I will link the sheet I've been making, too, of all Final Fantasy content. By the time this show is done, this has got quite a lot. There are 300 entries so far, and I'm only just wrapping 2015. Actually, I don't even know if I fully wrapped 2015. Anyway, all the tabs at the top, for the most part, are me researching that. Alright, so we're back at the Terra Cave, and we need to go back down to the different floors, because we have to find our way back to the bottom again. Every few fights we'll do like an entry. So we came out, we healed up a little bit. If you remember, once we got to the 4th floor or 3rd floor, somewhere around there, we killed a vampire, and that gave us a star ruby. And we took that ruby and went and fed it to a golem, which that opened the path to a sage, and the sage said, hey, there is an actual real evil here, and that evil is the Lich, and he's under this tile you couldn't previously move, and he gave us the Scepter of Earth. Alright, so we are on floor B. We need to, let's see, we need to work our way, on floor 2, we need to kind of make the very first boomerang, and then just make our way down until we can head right. Then head as right as far as we can and go down again. So that is what we're doing here. Make the very first boomerang little right here. And then we're going to go down and right wherever we can go right. Okay. Alright, a pack of werewolves. Let's see what we got here. We've got that cool axe. That was one of the things that we unlocked at the end of the last episode. It was part of the treasures of the big old golem. Nice, look at that. Little punches going on here. I mean, honestly, our crew is getting pretty strong. So that's the positive of all this grinding we've been doing. We really spent a lot of time grinding out for the armor. Knight's armor, or whatever it's called. For our hero there. Nice. So our guys are getting a little strong on these. Finally got an antidote out of that one. Okay, so that's not it. Over this way, maybe? 2 Minotaurs. Ooh, that was a big hit. The difference between hitting the rogue and the tank. 44 damage versus 1. Tank and that armor that he's got. 2 damage that time. That's pretty good. Pretty good gil. So we have been stacking some gil. Alright. Ooh, Hill Gigas, huh? Okay. I don't know. We fought these guys before. Not as strong as a Minotaur. Well, at least on that roll. Ooh. Ooh, their damage is... Their life is solid. Okay, so we did take a couple of those down. 1,700 gil. Alright, let's save after that one. That was a good one. And let's take a peek over. Alright, so at the enemies part, we'll just kind of go through a little bit. There's a whole big long thing, and then there's also a bosses tab. We'll just kind of peek at what we have here. So these entries give us these stats. It tells us the name, XP, gil, their health, what they're weak against, strong against, what's the number of hits they can do, if they can do a lot, their hit percentage, the defense, magic defense, do they have a special, where are they found? So in the beginning of the game, you can just fight the little 8 HP imps. We're not going to read all of those stats. And you can, in the Chaos Shrine, also fight the 10 HP skeletons that are weak against Fire and Diamond and Dia, and strong against almost everything else. What used to be called the Grimps are the Goblin Guards. They can also be found in that starting area and a few other areas. They just bring the HP up to 16. The Wolves bring the HP up to 20. They're also a starting mob. And in that Chaos Shrine, the Zombies also have 20 HP, but they're undead and weak to stuff. The Zombies have no special powers. The Black Widow Spiders also have no special powers. Good to know. I just assumed they were stronger. Also found in the Chaos Shrine. Okay. The Sahagins are found in the ocean. They are weak against lightning and strong against earth and fire. The Goggler, known as the Odd Eyes, they can cast Glare. I think that's like a stun. They're also weak. They're typical weak lightning, strong against the most other elements. There's also the Privateers. They're just strong against Quake. I guess you can't Quake ocean stuff. The Sahagins have 28 HP. Gogglers only have 10. The Privateers, also known as Kizoku, have 50. All right, okay, we'll stop there with that first kind of section. We'll look at more in a mo. All right, so we've made it down to the 3rd floor. So this is... we need to now wrap our way around and go through the vampire's room again. So we're going to go up, left, and just kind of wrap around through the vampire's cave. Okay, so a trickier floor. Technically, this is the 3rd floor. This is as far as we got before, but you know, we are going more quickly. A cockatrice. I don't remember fighting these guys last time. Maybe we got lucky. I'm guessing they will petrify us. Okay, that was my hope. My hope was that they're going to be kind of like glass cannons. They can petrify, but oh, these guys are the first bosses that you fight in the game. Their strength is extremely high. 22 damage to the tank. That time it was only 2, so that's good. Their life is not that good because you can fight them so early. Which is good. But yeah, they definitely put a hurting on you. Okay, so now we're working our way down. Trying to work our way over to the vampire cave. Okay, we did that. And now we made the Earth tab lit. So, since we have this thing now, we're now in the Cavern of Earth B4. Alright, so floor 4, there's a floor 4 and floor 5, so we have 2 floors to go. So we just dropped in at C. Right here. There are 2 treasure rooms that we need to go to. Alright, so this first treasure room has 5 treasures. Looks like almost 7,000 gil. A staff, nobody cares about that. Plus 2 more, another like 5. So over 12,000 gil plus a staff. Alright, so that's where we're going to go first. Go to the first treasure room. Looks like it was kind of up over here, yeah. Now, where will... Yeah, I was going to say, what kind of mobs will we be fighting? An ogre mage, huh? I mean, I'll fight these guys all day. I don't know what an ogre mage does, but my guess is, yeah, right in that ballpark of what the other ogres do. Okay, the Hyenodons, we fought these guys before. Okay, I don't know what they do other than, you know, he just had a solid hit on one of my guys. Nice. Okay. Oh, Gleeman leveled up. HP 7 is, so he's faster. Gleekon leveled up, HP 3. That's it. Gleezy leveled up, HP 5 and MP 17. And she does more damage. And that gained us 3,400 gil. We do fight a fight now to get the second chest. Another Ogre Mage. And it looks like we maybe got... Oh, they're really going after the rogue. Oh, Ogre Mages regenerate. Good to know. Okay. But other than that, so far I haven't seen anything out of them. Pretty cool. You know, this game is heavily influenced by Dungeons and Dragons. I think that's a big part of what people are trying... I read a pretty cool discourse on Reddit about modern Final Fantasy versus the old ones. Alright, now there's Glebo's level 2 HP and 20 MP. Plus he does more damage. And he increased his luck. And we got that staff. What is the staff? Is that a real thing, or is that just like, hey, haha, you had to fight this? No, it's just the stupid starting staff. Alright, we'll save here and look at some more mobs for a sec before we keep fighting these tough guys. Alright, the Gigas Worms used to be known as creeps. They have 56 HP and are weak against fire. Good to know. Oh, they were also found in the Chaos Shrine in the beginning. You can also find the Crazy Horse, aka Mad Pony. We did randomly fight like one of those. They can be found in the beginning of the game with 64 HP. Alright, so we should have read those in the beginning. The Marsh Cave is the only place that you can find the green slimes. They are strong, super high defense, 24 HP only, but they're weak against fire and ice. In the Chaos Shrine, you can also fight the shadows. And the green slimes can poison you. The shadows on hit can blind you. We fought a ton of these recently. They have 50 HP only and are weak against diamond and fire. The ghouls can paralyze you with their hit. We fought a lot of those outside of Elfheim. Only 48 HP, so not too bad. The Warg Wolf, or used to be known as the Grey Wolf. 72 HP, no special powers. In the ocean, you could also fight the Sahuagin Chief. 64 HP, weak against all of the ocean stuff. Ghasts, or Geists, are 56 HP with a paralysis hit. Fire and diamond weakness, not much different than the other things. Cobras, aka Asps, can poison you on hit. 56 HP. Oh, they're considered dragon types, so... that dragon is really anything reptile. Gargoyles could also be fought in that original Chaos Shrine. I think they were the boss of the Chaos Shrine. 80 HP. And they're considered a magical creature, so they were weak against that. Werewolves are a were creature and magical creature, and they can poison you on hit, and they have regeneration. They don't mention the regeneration here. Tarantulas can poison you on hit, kind of the opposite of what you would think with the Black Widow. 64 HP. The White or Spectre, you can fight those where we are right now, and the Marsh Cave. They can paralyze you on hit. So they're more annoying. 52 HP only though, weak against undead type stuff. Lizard or Iguana, I think we did fight one or two of these. You can fight them where we are right now. They are reptiles with 92 HP. The Anacondas, we've been fighting a lot of these. They're reptiles, so dragons. 80 HP, nothing special. They do have a chance. What's this? Yeah, that's the hit percent chance. They do have a chance of getting more than one hit, it looks like. So that's interesting. The Cockatrice, which we just fought, only have 50 HP. They are weak against Quake. No, they're strong against Quake. And on hit, they can petrify you. The Crawlers, I think we fought a couple of these. They're the strong versions of those other little worms. 84 HP. They can paralyze on hit. All right, Ogres, we've been fighting a ton of these forever. 100 HP, nothing special. Scorpions have snuck in and hit us a couple times. They poison on hit with 84 HP, pretty strong. The Wraith used to be called the Image. It is an undead that can paralyze on hit. I think we fought a couple of these in this cave we're in right now. 86 HP. The piranhas. So once we get to the canoe, I'm going to keep going a little bit. You can fight the piranhas, aka the Caribes or Caribes. They're 92 HP, weak against lightning. The ochre jellies, we haven't fought one yet, but we could fight one here, also known as oozes. It's the same thing. Oh, actually, they're not weak against. They're weak against fire and ice. They have 76 HP, but their defense is nowhere near as crazy as the other one were. The gray ooze or muck, same deal. Weak against bolt, 76 HP. But yeah, they're not as crazy as the other ones. Sharks, we fought those in the ocean, 120 HP. And they're weak against ocean type stuff. We fought those. Pisco demons, 84 HP only, but their damage is through the roof with that 300 attack power. Super strong. And they can hit twice. Or 30 attack power, I mean. 84. The ogre chieftain, or great ogre is what it used to be called, has 132 HP, but they're still not as strong as a Pisco demon. They're stronger than a shark. Hynodons are 120 with a 22. Okay. Mummies, we fought some of those. 80 HP with undead, and they can sleep you on hit. The blood bones or red bone, we have fought those before. 144 HP. I think they were maybe a boss in front of a chest once. They're undead, though, weak against that stuff. The horn devil or red gargoyle, that's something we can fight here. They can cast fire and hold and do good damage, but they're magic creatures are weak against that. All right, I think that's... I mean, we'll pause right there, but we're kind of like weaving out in and out of what are the types of creatures that are available, because we still have not obviously fought all of the things we've been fighting. All right, I don't even know if this is like supposed to be a boss fight or if this is supposed to be... if this is just a random fight. Okay. Ow. Hard to say. Okay. There's our 1500. This is a Sphinx? I'm just piling up everybody on there. Alright, he was able to do 3 damage to my leader. No status effect. Okay, so that's good. It was about... That's not gonna cut it. Okay, luckily we got lucky and they all went after my tank. So he tanked all of them, and we got no status effect regardless of what they can do. Over 2,000 gil for that. And another 1,500 there. 5,000. Oh. Dang it, this chest was protected by sphinxes. Ooh, 40 damage. Oh, man. Over 100 damage to my healer. They went all out on her. Nice. Okay. I mean, the gil for that is really good. Alright, let's see what the map says. Alright, so now we can work our way back around. Doesn't really matter where we go, because it's all going to kind of lead to the top right corner, but we need to go to the we need to go to the bottom left corner to get our other 3 chests, which is gil, a shield, and a tent. Okay, so we have to work our way back around. Whoa, alright. So here's where we go with a magic. just because these guys, there's so many of them. Not because there is anything special. Alright, we gotta do some... But because of that paralysis... So, time consume, like, this... Yeah, gotta get out of there. Also, it's time for our... time for a rogue to be healed a little bit. Okay. Let's save this. Also, wait, where was it going? Yeah, I can only go one way. Wrap around. All right, so we have not fought Winter Wolves or Frost Wolves yet. They're 92 life. Weak against fire. Can cast a snowstorm. The Pyrolisk or Paralisk can glare. I'm guessing that's like a break type of thing. That's not available yet. They're later, but they only have 44 HP, weak against ice. So they're probably coming up. The Spectre or Wraith, we have fought, can fight those. They can paralyze you on hit with 114 life, and they're magic undead. We fought a lot of these lesser tigers, aka just tigers. They have a very strong damage. That's their strength, but they have 132 HP. The Minotaur is just strong guys with 164 HP. The Red Piranha or Red Caribe, that's a canoe monster with 172 HP. Dang, they're strong. The Rakshasa or Mancat, we have not fought those. They will not appear till later. They can cast a ton of magic and are 110 HP. They're just weak against magic things, but they're strong against most magic. We have fought a couple trolls. They are 184, weak against fire. The Sea Scorpion, or used to be called the Lapster, can poison you on hit. Weak against lightning, 148 HP. Medusa is someone we can fight in this cave also. 68 HP only, but she can glare and poison you. Ogre Mage or Wiz Ogres, that we have started to fight those. 144 HP. They actually can cast Blink, Darkness, Sleep, Hold, or Ice 2. And they're a magic creature. The Were Tiger or Catman can poison you on hit. They're like a Rakshasa, 160 HP, and they're considered a were creature. The Crocodile or Gators, found in the canoe, 184 HP, weak against lightning. Mind Flayers or Sorcerers. So now we're starting to get into almost the creatures that we haven't fought yet. 112 HP, found in the Ice Cavern. Saber-Tooth Tigers, or Saber-Tee, 200 HP with very, very strong hit. Sea Trolls, we can fight them ultimately in the Sunken Temple, weak against lightning, 216 HP. And Hill Gigas, we just fought them. So 240 HP. Other than that, they're just pretty strong. Yeah, the fact that they pop up here is crazy. We'll read like a couple more. The Sahagin Prince, or Wizard Sahagin, can be found near the end game, 204 HP, weak against lightning. The Hydra can be found on the canoe. They're considered dragons, 212 HP. The Sea Snakes are weak against... They're reptiles and weak against lightning with 224 HP. The King Mummy or Wizard Mummies are undead that can do sleep on hit with 188 HP. Ghosts are the strongest of those type, I guess, with 180 HP, undead that can paralyze on hit. And the Necrotar or Zombie Bull is a 224 undead, 224 HP. Yeah, not much, just a tough guy. And the Dark Mage, this is where... Oh no, there's Sphinx. We'll go down to that. The Dark Mage, Dark Wizard or Mage, is a magic creature, 105 HP only, but casts tons of rank 3 magic. That's a more endgame type monster. The Dark Flan or Slime, this is a super defense monster, 156 HP. Gotta come after it with fire. That's almost endgame exclusive. And the Sphinx that we just fought, 228 HP. Very good damage. Does not mention that you can find them here, but we just fought it twice as a set creature. Okay, so now we got to kind of wrap our way back up. Right? Yeah, because that's blocked off. Yeah, the Pisco Demons are just on the attack here. That's it. Thank goodness. Get ourselves out of one fight there. Okay. Now we gonna whap around. We're trying to go down as much as we can. Doesn't really matter. There's more than one path. Alright. Actually, I feel like whites are worse than ghasts. Could be wrong on this, though. Ah, man. Why'd you have to have it? Oh. Why'd you have to have a doo-doo? Aw. Okay. We lost one of our 2 heavy hitters. And our 2... We lost both our heavy hitters. And our 2 weaklings did not kill their people on the first hit. Excuse me. Alright. Now we're coming after... This is why I use magic when I fight this setup. Oh my gosh. There you go. Our dude woke back up. Glebe only has 199 HP. What a bum. Oh, wrong way. There's a big old troll. He just looks like he's so upset. Like he's crazy, like there's voices in his head. Okay. Okay, so if we go down, we can find the treasure. Yeah, there we go. And then we need to go up. A tent. Okay, this is just like a regular fight. I gotta come after this guy because he can cast magic. Alright, but these guys are fine. I'll fight ogres and hyenodons all day. It's almost not even like a boss fight. Twing! Pretty good life there. Alright. A mithril shield. Let's check that one out. He has an iron shield. Look at that. Yeah. Cool. So our tank he can't use one. Okay, so that's good. That was worth it. A little defensive upgrade. Alright, so wyverns are dragons with 212 HP that can poison you on hit. Hellhounds or Cerebuses are 192 HP, weak against ice, that can also flame you. Centipedes, or just pedos, are 222 HP guys that can poison you on hit. These are all on-rack Mirage. That one is actually a little bit, like you can fight the Crescent Lake, you can fight those kind of soon. Vampire is the boss that we just fought. 156 HP, undead, and weak against fire. Yeah, that's typical for undead. The Fire Hydra or Red Hydra is weak against ice and is a dragon. It flames you and has 182 HP. That's coming up in our next area. The Earth Medusa or Green Medusa, 96 HP, that can also glare and paralyze you on hit. Weak against fire, though, and is a magic creature. Worms are dragons, 260 HP, just strong, near the end game. And Guardians or Guards, these are like some robot-looking things, I think. They are weak against bolt, they paralyze you on hit. They are truly like the last of the 4, 200 HP. The Ochu or Ocho, that's straight up Dungeons and Dragons. 208, weak against bolt, they poison you on hit. That's a canoe monster. Clay Golems or Mud Golems are magic creatures, 176 HP, that can cast haste and poison on hit. Black Knight used to be called Bad Man, just 260 HP dudes near the end of the game. The Nightmare is a 200 HP magical creature weak against ice that can snort. I think it blows, when they snort, it blows one of your guys out of the fight. Manticores are upgraded Sphinxes, 164 HP, that can do a poison gas. A Beretta used to be called a Red Ankylosaur. That is in the desert. That's where you go to get the airship, 256 HP. The Fire Gigas, or Red Giant, 300 HP, weak against ice. We can fight those soon. But they'll throw them at you to the end of the game. Excuse me. The Noma just used to be called Earth. It's Earth Elemental, basically. We fought those guys. 288 HP, weak against fire and their magical creatures. We have actually fought these guys already They're a boss of one of the things, but they get thrown at you again end game. Arrows or air, magic creature 358. That's it, fought in the wind temple, but can be thrown at you end game. And Pyros is the fire. Excuse me. 276, weak against ice, and they're magical. That's coming up soon and gets thrown at you end game. Okay, we'll come back to some of those. All right, let's get our last treasure. Just some more gil. All right, so we got all of our treasures from this floor. Now we can kind of work our way to the stairs down to floor 6. A couple more Pisco demons. Cool. We did it. All right. Go ahead and save one more time here. All right, let's see what our map shows us now on floor 5, the final floor. We've made it down to the deepest level of the cave. There are a lot of powerful foes, so don't waste time exploring. We just need to go up and loop around to the boss. And then we will fight the Lich. Let's see. You just need to be patient. Hit him with fire because he's undead. Once everybody's buffed up, we can also use Dia. And once you beat him, you can take a portal out of the back room. And then we're going to go back to Melmond, rest, save, do all that stuff, and then make our way out to Crescent Lake. So that's where we're going today. Awesome. All right. So we're just going to make our way kind of in a loop around. I feel like I've screwed this loop up already somehow. How did I miss this? Should have gone straight up, and I feel like I'm already screwing it up. Oh man. Okay. I really do feel like I'm screwing it up. I'm way over there now, so I gotta go back. Ow. Yeah, we gotta go check this out again. I think I screwed my positioning up. Okay. Luckily, Pisco Demons not too terrible. Yeah, I totally think I messed this up. Oh no. Oh, whew. Whew. Yes, thank goodness. Alright, we survived the cockatrice without any deaths or petrifications. And we're supposed to be able to, maybe that's where you go up? We're supposed to be able to go up. What the absolute heck is this? Alright, first let's go. I feel like this is deceptively easy. Yeah, take out the Hillgigas. We also need to get rid of the lizard. Dang it, of course I get poisoned by the werewolf. Yeah, these goblin guards are like nothing. They're just fodder. This is like some D&D type stuff right here. Okay. She needs to do Poisona. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. So now it's just the fodder that's left. Not too shabby. Ching! Man, that new shield's coming in handy. Okay. Alright, let's see. Let's look at some more of these guys. Okay, so there's the Lava Worm or Gray Worm, weak against ice, 280 HP. We'll fight that endgame or in the fire area. White Dragon or Frost Dragon, 200 HP, weak against fire and lightning, and they're a reptile. They cast Snowstorm. You fight them in some ice cavern or endgame. The Ice Gigas or Frost Giant is also found there, 336 HP, weak against fire. The White Croc or Frost Gator is 228 HP, weak against bolt and dragon type stuff, found in the canoe. Aquos is, or known as water, maybe that's the fourth elemental. 300 HP, weak against ice and magic. Found when we go underwater. The Basilisk or Sauria is a dragon type, 196 HP, that can glare you. The Chimera is, maybe that's what we just fought. No. It's weak against ice. It's a reptile, 300 HP. They can flame you. And the Remora or Gray Centipede or Great Centipede, 320 HP, weak against ice and fire. They're found in the Crystal Lake area. So when you fight those, it's going to be like, whoa. Okay, the Dragon Zombie or Zombie Dragon, probably a boss type. That is fought endgame, the air area in the end game. Weak again, it's undead, so it's fire, diamond, dragon type. Water Naga or just the Naga is weak against the typical bolt, and it's magic type. 356 HP, and it can cast poisons on hit and cast tons of different debuffing and lightning magic. The White Shark or Great Shark is found end game or underwater. 344 HP, weak against lightning. The Rock Golem or Stone Golem, magical creature that slows on hit, found in the wind or endgame, 200 HP. The Vampire Lord or Wizard Vampire, 300 HP. Wizard Vampire, weak against fire and diamond. Also casts pretty much all of the level 2 magic, plus it can glare and paralyze on hit. They suck. Fire Lizard or Agama is a 296 HP, weak against ice, and it's a reptile, and it can flame you, found in the fire area. The Desert Beretta, or just regular Ankleo, is 352 HP, found in the desert. Sandworm is 200 HP, that can quake you, also found in the desert. The Doom Knight used to be known as Evil Man, 190 HP. It's a magic type creature that can cast all major end-game magic like Dispel, Flare, Kill. That's found in the Flying Fortress or fully on end-game. Alright, let's see. Yeah, see, I don't even know what I'm doing. There we go. Oh, that's my problem. I went up. I'm an idiot. I got myself turned around fully. We should have been over here, and somehow I made my way back over to this. Yeah, somehow I went right back up there. That's my problem. I was on the wrong floor. I don't know how I did that. Alright, so here's Wraiths. Okay, so they paralyze on hit. Not good. Oh, man. Okay, at least they're not, like, crazy strong. As they, like, B-slap us. Okay. Let's get some healing on my Black Mage, who's getting a little low. Pathetic. Alright, so this is better. That's how I got myself fully turned around before. Ah, there we go. Okay. This is going to be our final boss, so let's go ahead and heal everybody up. She has a lot of HP. Oh, I shouldn't have done him. Forgot I just healed him. There's the crystal. Who speaks to me? So we have a crystal in the background, and we have this blob right here. I am he who feeds on the power of Earth. I will not be disturbed by mortal men. I am the Lich, fiend of Earth. Our first real boss. Look at that big old giant thing. That's cool. Alright, so... let's boost my fighters with haste. Null Blaze or Null Frost can also protect us. That's it. Okay. There's not really a lot of strategy I can go, so he's gonna attack. And he'll attack. I don't have Null Blaze yet, but I can at least Null Frost everybody. And he can haste. I fight 35 HP. What is that? That's what I was trying to avoid. Okay. Because now she's got to go on a Healara kick. Let's go ahead and haste this guy. What does that do? Okay, that basically undoes the... Nice. What is up with that? Pathetic? Alright, what else can she really do? There's no need for Null Shock. Alright, so she can do Daya. And then... Should I go to... I'm just gonna do regular fire magic? No. I guess let's go with the fire magic. Look at that. Okay, so... That's probably where we need to be coming. That's pretty good. Well, if he's gonna hit us with... That's just 60 damage. But she's gotta be more conservative about her... Like... Him, he can go ahead and do some high magic things because he doesn't need as much. But she's gotta conserve some of her magic for... How much life do these guys have? Ah, yeah. The Black Mage brought it that time. Just shooting Novas on him. I'll take it. 3,000 gil. And we've got our first crystal. Wouldn't it be cool if you actually gained some sort of power for beating the crystal? No, you don't. Alright, so... Oh, look, there's like a statue of the Lich. What is this place? This is the Earth Gift Shrine. Oh, so that was being blocked. There was something being blocked there. This is the altar of Earth from which the power of Earth flows. And this portal appeared. Thank goodness, because that way we don't have to walk out of the 5 floors of the dungeon. Whew. Okay. So now we have to make our way back to Melmond. So that we can rest and get back on our ship. Whoops. Okay. We are ballers. We have defeated the first underground lord. I'm curious as to how much money we will have made on this endeavor. Quite a bit. And I think that it's not going to matter. Because we're going to immediately level up into the next type of town we're at. And it's going to be like $1 million for every little thing. But we will get closer and closer to, like, there'll come a part where it's just magic that's going to cost us money, because our gear will get more and more we will outclass more and more whatever gear is available. Ridiculous. We're getting thousands per fight, and then we go back to getting 100 gil. I mean, that's a pretty solid place to farm for money that we were just at. I mean, if you want to be real. I mean, we were getting excited whenever we would fight these guys for the 600 or 700 or whatever, and 500. Alright, let's take a look at mobs again so we can continue working on our spreadsheet. Alright, there are red dragons. You can fight them. Maybe that's going to be a boss-ish coming up in the next cave, but also endgame they reappear. 258 HP. They are dragon types that are also weak against petrified poison and ice, and they can flame you. The Neochu, or Naucho, 344 HP that poison you. They can be found in the canoe. The Evil Eye, I think that is a boss. We might actually, I think we fought something like them already. They're magic type creatures with 162 HP that can do all death type magic plus Thundara, like all debuffs. They are found in the Ice Cavern or the Flying Fortress. I don't even know what that is. The Blue Dragon, 454 HP, weak against fire, dragon type. They can also bolt you. They're found in that Mirage Tower or Endgame. The Allosaurus, or the Tyro, is a dragon type with 480 HP, found in the desert or Endgame. The Dark Warrior or Fighter looks like a little elf. They're actually like one of those magic ones, only 200 HP magic type, and they can cast all of the level 2 but white magic types. Wall, Dispel, Heal 2, Shield 2, Curaja, all of that stuff. They're found endgame, so they're a support type. Or the Flying Fortress. The Spirit Naga or Great Naga, 420 HP magic type. That casts a lot of level 1 magic. They poison on hit, but they can also heal and debuff. Found endgame and in the Flying Fortress. And the Deep Eyes or Big Eyes, found underwater or endgame, weak against bolt and magic. They can glare and flash. For 304 HP. All right, the final, let's just finish off the mobs. The Soldier or Sentry is the other robo type. 400 HP, weak against bolt, found in the Flying Fortress. The Green Dragon or Gas Dragon, yeah, total Dungeons and Dragons. 352 HP, weak against ice and dragon type. They poison gas you, found near endgame. Purple Worm, or just Worm, 448 HP. Found in the endgame or Flying Fortress. Rios or Chimera, 350 HP, weak against ice and dragon type. They can gas you or flame you. Found endgame only. Iron Golem, 304 HP, magic type that can poison gas you. Only found endgame. Tyrannosaur or T-Rex is a dragon type. Massive damage, 600 HP. Only found endgame. And the infamous War Mech, 2000 HP. But worth 32,000 XP and gil. Strong against basically everything and can flare you and nuclear attack you and hit you for a bajillion damage. Only found in the Flying Fortress. So they're a special... That's a special, like, you want to see if you can beat them, because if you have a trick against them, they can be mini-boss, like, they're worth so much. All right, we will look at bosses in short, even though there's going to be some spoilers in just a second. All right, we're going to go home first. Not home. We're going to go to the inn in Melmond. And then get on our ship. Beat him. Nope. So we were at level 25. We were more than equipped to... Because that's what we're at. Yeah, we're at about 80,000 gil now. And we are at level 25. There's our ship. And let's go drop 100. This town still looks pretty crap. It doesn't look very healed from our efforts. Pleasant dreams. So something in some shrine was blocked by a statue of the Lich. That has now opened. That would be the only thing that's technically opened at this point in the game, but we never went to that place or saw that. It was called the Earth Shrine. Something like that. Okay. Onto the ship we are. Alright, so let's see what the guide says. It says we're going to set sail for Crescent Lake for now to start working on the Crystal of Fire. And we will put in a little work on that today. So, they have added this flavor text. Maybe that comes, I don't know where it comes from, but it says, the destiny of the 4 warriors of light is now certain. They must relight the 4 crystals, or the world will be covered in darkness. With the lighting of the earth crystal, Marilith, or Carrie, the fiend of fire, has been awakened before her time. The warriors must travel to the other side of the world and into the heart of Mount Gulg, where Marilith's lair is, to defeat her and light the second crystal. Alright, so we're going to go to the east. There's a lot of rivers. The great volcano of Mount Gulg, which will be our boss. There's an ice cave and a desert. And we will meet Lucan, who and more other mysteries from the Circle of Sages in the town of Crescent Lake. We need to get to the town of Crescent Lake. It says there's 2 ways to get there. You can sail southeast from the Cavern of Earth and travel all the way around the southern continents, or you can head due west and it will loop the map around until we reach land. Much stronger monsters, and we need to get there to speak with the sages. They also have some good things, and somebody in this town will also give us the canoe, which we need. At this point in the game, we're going to need to really choose our spells. Remember, there is one spell we couldn't unlock yet because we don't have that magic. I also don't know what magic will be available at level 6 without the upgrade. There's some weapons we're going to look into. Armor. All of that we'll easily be able to afford. The magic, it depends, but there's Stona, Exit, Protera, and Invisira. We 100% want Exit. Stona, they said if we had to choose to not go with that because we can just buy rocks or whatever. I mean, softs. For black magic, there's Thundaga, Deathquake, and Stun. Death and Quake are kind of similar. There's a lot more things I noticed when we were just looking at the enemies that are immune to Quake than Death. So I'm probably going to go Death over that. But Thundaga and Stun are the other 2 we'll pick. And then we'll go talk to the sages. Since we have beaten the Lich, he will give us the canoe, but he won't do that beforehand. They'll tell us a story. We also have access to the ice cavern, which you do need to go there at some point in the airship. But you can't finish it off until you complete the trials and upgrade your classes, so that's the very next chapter anyway, is doing the airship and doing the trials before you do the second half of the game. I'm not going to go ahead and do it, and then we'll be working our way down to Mount Gulg and Marilith. This is a much quicker thing. We don't have to do multiple trips down here. We will just go down to the fire thing and beat the fire boss. I think we are going to be fine. And if you think about the way the game was originally designed to be level 50, we would roughly be halfway through the game right now anyway. So we are going to sail due east and just wrap around. Okay. I mean, due west. You look at the map where we're at. Let's see. Yeah, this is actually where we should go. We should basically go due west from here until we hit land. Yeah, we have not wrapped around yet. Okay, we did. We hit land, and we need to go down, I think, because we want to make it to that Crescent town right there. The north, I think, could get us to... Not even sure. I actually don't know, but these two areas, I think that's the ice cave, and I don't know. We're gonna go down. That's our... Oh, we're actually gonna have to fight. A couple buccaneers. Yarr! They tried to fight us. Not their best idea. Yarr! But thanks for paying for our inn. Alright, so now we're on... Yeah, look at this. I actually want to fight the scorpions first, because they can poison us. And we can... Yeah. Jerks. Oof. I don't know why they're coming after my dude. Okay. Ah, what a jerk. Okay. Got that one. Got his behind. Alright, now we just gotta unpoison him too. But yeah, see, 769. We're gonna... The process of getting Gil is gonna be much better now. We got the second crystal, I guess. Okay. Now these are anacondas. They don't poison, but we do have to get rid of these stupid... Ah, oh, gosh, of course. These guys suck. Yeah, my mithril shield's coming to block your behind. I honestly probably should have went for like a fire attack. All right. Now she can poison again. But these guys can just hit us. They don't really do a lot. Man, my rogue is taking a lot of life. Okie dokie. There we go. Alright, I think we'll do... I'm just trying to kind of get a bead on where this Crescent place is. It's right there. But I think we have to walk around to get there. Whoa, Ankegs is what they're called in this one. 55 damage. These are classic Dungeons and Dragons mobs. Alright, so they don't have 300 life. They did do 55 damage. Yeah, these guys are toughies. Gleeman raised a level 31 HP. He does more damage. Gleekon raised a level 3 HP. He will have more magic as a ninja. And he's tougher. And better at running. Gleezy gained 28 HP. 7 MP. Better at running. And of course, old Gleebo never raises. Alright, let's look at the bosses. So, in the Kingdom of Corneria, you will fight Garland. He just has 106 HP. Nothing special. Then you will fight the Pack of Pirates in Provoca. They each have 6 HP. They're pathetic. And then the Prince of Elfland. In that chapter, you will fight the Pisco demons that have 84 HP each, and they're just tough punchers. And then Astos is the real kind of boss of that area, who has 168 HP. He is actually weak against being held. So that's interesting. All right, and then Crystal of Earth is kind of where we were just at. You fight the vampire at first, who's strong. He's undead, so he has those typical things with 156 HP. And then the Lich round 1. He is weak against undead type of things and can cast magic. We just fought him, 400 HP. Crystal of Fire is where we're headed. The Red Dragon is a mini boss you'll fight there. He's strong against Quake and Fire, but weak against Ice. He has 248 HP. And then Carrie, or Marilith, round 1. She appeared now. She'll make the volcano go off. She's a pretty common Final Fantasy type creature. She is strong against elemental magic, but she can be paralyzed. So that's good to know. She has 600 HP. So that's pretty cool. When we go to get the airship, the White Dragon will be a mini boss, the Frost Dragon. He has 200 HP, weak against fire. The Evil Eye, or Beholder, he has 162 HP, and you just have to go all out after him. And when you do the trials, you have to fight the dragon zombie, with 268 HP, treat him like an undead. When you go after the Crystal of Water, you'll fight the Kraken in his first iteration, so he's the boss. 800 HP, weak against Bolt, of course. Significantly stronger than the other two because you're entering the second half. When you go after the Crystal of Air, there's a Blue Dragon mini-boss, weak against Fire, with 454 HP. The War Mech is the secret boss, a predecessor to like the weapon found later in the game. He's stronger than any enemy in the game, including the boss Tiamat that you'll fight. He has 2,000 HP, 128 attack, 80 defense, 200 magic defense, no weaknesses, and strong against basically all magic. Use your buffs a lot, Saber your Knight at least 4 times, keep casting hit, restore, revive, use flare. So he's just a secret boss. Tiamat is the actual boss, 1,000 HP, weak against being stoned. And then Temple of Chaos is endgame. You can fight the Death Eye, 360 HP joke mini boss. He's also technically undead. Round 2 version of Lich with 500 HP, weak against fire and diamond. Round 2 Marilith, 700 HP. Not weak against being held this time. Round 2 Kraken has 900 HP, not weak against the bolt this time. Tiamat, round 2, 1100 HP, not weak this time. Just, again, need to punch him. And then Chaos is the final regular boss, 2000 HP, strong against everything in the game. You're just going to need to whoop his butt. We'll read more about that. And that's not counting the special bosses that you'll fight in whatever it's called, the Temple of Chaos, or whatever the heck the other version of the game is. Maybe it's in Dependencies. No, there you go. Soul of Chaos and Anniversary Edition. Doesn't actually have it listed here, but right here, if you look in the walkthrough, there's Soul of Chaos, and yeah, there it is. Soul of Chaos and Anniversary Edition. That's a little something different. All right, so we're going to look at some general spoiler type stuff about the NPCs and all that soon. We'll start that today. All right, I think we cut... Nope. More Hill Gigases. Okay, the mobs are tougher now. Punch in the puss. I mentioned this before. I'm reading like all of the 1940s comics, like Marvel and their affiliates. Lebo, 22 HP, 19 MP, more magic. Oh man. That was not the right way. And they have all these funny like turns of phrases that people don't use anymore. And one of the things, like to punch someone in the face, they'll say is like a punch right in the puss. So my wife cringes whenever I say that. Like I'll say it to the dogs. Alright, so these mobs are strong, but they're worth good money. So kinda catch-22. We will be obviously coming back here to the Crescent Town because I really, like I said, I doubt we are going to be able to get much of the magic. Alright, let's use magic here. Ouch. And we were sneak attacked. That's terrible. Okay, we did not get poisoned, so that's good. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna go thunder on these guys. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got one of the scorpions. Honestly, Isis probably would have been better on these guys. Okay, thunder was fine. Got a spider silk. Nice. Alright, we are here at the town of Crescent Lake. Ah, we made it, guys. First things first. You know what, we don't... How much does the inn cost? 200 gil. Good to know. Actually, you know what, I will spend it. Let's just refresh. We'll stay in this new inn. Waste 200 gil. So we really have plenty of resources still. That was a hard road, and I want to test out these beds. Get boinging and jumping on the beds, baby. Okay. Cool. What else do we have here? Alright, we have a nice little item. This is a nice, pretty town. Okay, in the item shop, there are potions. High potions, which we have none of. Ethers, we only have one, but good to know we can buy them. Phoenix Downs, which we only have one, and a tent. So, good to know. We can buy those things, but I'm not spending money on items at this stage in the game. Alright, the armor shop. What do we got? Mithril Mail is worse than the Knight Shield I sent out before. I have the Mithril Shield because we just found it. Buckler is actually good because it's a shield that can be used by the rogue. Mithril Helm I already have. Mithril Gloves is an upgrade. So the Mithril set is here, but all of my good grinding, leveling, and finding all the treasures has really helped me. So a nice little upgrade to my defense with the gloves, and he can finally have a shield. Good, so maybe he'll block some things now and then. What is this little place? That's probably the, what do they call it? The little temple, church? Yeah, in case somebody dies. Okay. There's a graveyard. You see a gravestone. Creepy. Alright, what else? There's 4 of them. Is that symbolic? My husband is always traveling, and in the little time he is home, he sleeps all day. I think he needs to get his priorities straight. Okay. Alright, Mithril Knife is trash. Mithril Sword is an upgrade for me. Mithril Hammer, trash. Mithril Axe is an upgrade. Alright, Mithril Axe is a 25 attack. Mithril Sword is a 23. So I'm going to go with the Mithril Axe. Even though it is lower accuracy, I'm going to take it. So that's the only weapon we had to buy. Let's give Homeboy a new Mithril Axe. Better attack, better accuracy. See, if you look at this, now it's worse. Okay. And more graves hidden in the corner. This dude's sleeping. Is that the husband? Just sleeping in the graveyard? Okay, and here's the magic. So, white magic. She can have Stona. She can have everything except exit, but exit's the most important one. I like the idea of having Stona. I know it's silly. Should I raise defense or evasion? Oh, Invisira, we will get the ability to cast that eventually. So I'm going to go Stona for her. And I will get Protera for her and skip Invisira and save that spot for exit because you will get an item that can cast that eventually. Alright, he can do Thundaga. Oh, he can get all his magic now. Well, definitely Thundaga. Stun for sure. And I'm gonna go Death over Quake. Okay, so he could. So for whatever reason, they just don't want you exiting dungeons yet. They're holding that, lording it over your head. That's trash. Alright, but that's good. Look at that. All the fighting we've done, no grinding necessary. That's great. And what level are we? We're all level 26, so we've only gained a couple levels on this, but hey, it's a couple levels. Alright. So now we can go talk to the sages. If we had come here before, I think they would have not been as stoked to see us, but since we came here after beating the Lich, they're all going to be happy. Look at all these little dudes. Where the Fiend of Fire passes, all is cast into flame. The Fiend of Earth rots the land. Yeah, we killed him. The four fiends plot to rule the world both past and present. The Fiend of Wind appeared 400 years ago, followed 200 years later by the Fiend of Water. Together they laid waste to the civilization in the north. Ah, so that's what's happening, why nobody can get there. When all four crystals shine once more, return here. All will be revealed, so like at the end. Bring the light of the four crystals to us. Warriors of light, only you can do it. Yeah. Okay. The source of the four forces are the altars scattered throughout the world. Defeat the fiends that have taken root there and lift up the crystal you carry to the altar. The crystal should regain its brilliance. Yeah, how did we get those? Fire, earth, water, and wind. These are the four forces that compose our world. Okay. The volcano Mount Gulg rises to the west of this town. The Fiend of Fire long slept within its passages, but she has awoken 200 years before her time. Vanquish her before the world is consumed in flame. Well done, warriors of light. You have defeated the Fiend of Earth and restored the crystal's light. Sadly, this has drawn the notice of the Fiend of Fire, who is not to have stirred for another 200 years. Take this canoe and go face the Fiend in Mount Gulg. Yeah! You obtained a canoe. Perfect. We have the next method of conveyance. Four great crystals exist in this world. The light that once shone within them is now lost. The four fiends of chaos block the power of the crystals, claiming it as their own. Well, I have one. Now we should be able to quake like crazy. 12 sages are we, guided to this land by the stars and prophecy. And here's the leader. I am Lucan. I see a cycle of wrath, a dim light guided by destiny. That about which our entire future revolves. That's it. Okay, so really the whole point of that was get the canoe. It was gate kept off until you... Alright, so let's take a peeky-poo here. We did all that. We have to get to Mount Gulg. I think that's what we'll do today. We will travel to the entrance to Mount Gulg and stop there. And then when we do this episode next week, we should be able to easily beat Mount Gulg and then start the trial to get the airship. That'd be cool. Like the game is going to start kind of grooving now. We're also pretty close to going through the walkthrough. We're at the coolest part of the strategy wiki. I'm going to save that for next time. We're going to look at NPCs. There's also some spoiler we're going to do. We won't do this on tons of the games, but this game is so kind of one-dimensional that we will do it. I don't know. Let's see. Now that we have the canoe, it says it's to the west. So let's see if we can... See, now I can canoe my way across. Which there's a... We might look at some of the NPCs as we go over. So what did we really gain? We gained a little defense for my two main dudes. Okay, so if you look at the map here, we're trying to make our way over to this thing. We do not want this. This is a different area. Yeah, we need to get there. So we have to go up at the fork and then go with our second left. Whereas when we go to this spot, not sure. Not sure where we go. You might be able to cross right there with a canoe in order to get to the ice cave. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't really matter yet, though, because we're not going to the ice cave, but we want to go up and around right here. Okay, now we're fighting river monsters. Look at these freaking hydras. What? Okay, I gotta do some magic. Gotta do Thundara. Oh, okay, the hydras are not as strong as they look. Wow! Crocodile is. I got one of them, so we were like borderline. She should be able to... Man, look how much damage they're doing. Those crocs do a lot of damage to my tank. 40 freaking damage? These river monsters don't play. 1,000 XP and 3,000 kill. There's a Neo Chew. Oh, God, these guys are tough. Oh, man. Whoa! Yeah, this is like, whew. Okay. Yikes. Alright. This is a scary little zone. Like, I guess it's also like a gatekeep. Like, if you can't make it through the river, you should probably turn back. I think that's what's going on here. Yikes. These guys are actually less bad than the crocs are. They have, like, more life, but... Man. Tough. Okay, let's save this, and let's just take a look at some NPCs. So these are the regular NPCs. There's the King of Cornelia and his daughter, Princess Sarah. There's the Witch Matoya. These are the ones we've encountered already. There's the Elf Prince, the little sleeping baby. There are the dwarves in Mount Duergar. Dr. Une. I don't think we have encountered him yet. We have Sarda the Great Sage is who gave us the Earth thing. The Circle of Sages we just met. Lucan is their leader. Bahamut the Dragon we have yet to meet. He's actually an NPC. There's somebody named Underhill who is a desert trader. There is a little fairy we will meet in the town of Gaia. There are mermaids somewhere. The Lufenians are in a town of Lufenia, some kind of magic people we will eventually meet. And there are little robots designed by the Lufenians. So that's just something we'll kind of get to later as we go. Not a lot of NPCs. All right, and then there's a checklist. This is just like, hey, what do you want to make sure you get once you do each thing? The different things you can possibly get. I'm not even worried about it. It's kind of useless. It's just if you wanted to print this up and check to make sure you're 100%ing the game. What are the different mobs you want to be able to fight in each area if you want to completely finish out your log? We will cross that off as we go there. I'm not worried about actually doing that. Next episode, we will look at... actually, we're going to skip this. This is just typing out the epilogue as it plays. We don't need to do that because we're going to see it when we beat the game. All right, so what we will do is we will look at, next time we play, we'll look at the history and game development of the actual game, like as a physical object in our world. We will look at the secrets in the game, which is well, there's actually not a lot of those, but we'll review them. We've already kind of covered them already. And then there's some neat trivia in the game, as well as achievements and trophies tied to other parts of the game. So little things to wrap up our playthrough of Final Fantasy, or of, not a playthrough, but our looking over of the material for Final Fantasy 1. Which we'll do next time. And then we'll be able to close that tab and we'll just focus on getting through the game without little breaks, so that will really, things will start snowballing and speeding up as we go through. We are going to slow down and play whatchamacallit, the end game dungeons. Whether or not we try to fill out our bestiary, I'm on the fence about that. We'll decide kind of how we feel closer to. But all right, so we made great progress today. We are ready to tackle the second major dungeon to get the second crystal. We're already ready, which is going to bring us into kind of the mid-intermission part of the game, which is unlocking the airships and upgrading our characters to their next class. Then we'll have to go back and get the magic we hadn't gotten so far before we fly off to attack the back half of the game. After we attack the back half of the game, before we do the Temple of Chaos and womp the game, we'll then go do all of the side things in the game. The different Temples of Chaos and all that stuff. That's available only in the extended content, but it'll get us some extra cool weapons. Thank you everybody so much for watching and listening and tuning in to our weekly little jaunt through the world of Final Fantasy. As always, have a great time doing it, and I will see everybody on the very next episode of Lore of Final Fantasy, and you know you're going to catch me later on with Lore of Warcraft. This one's in the pipe, 5x5.